And again, disregard those stairs. No, I did not use them, but it came with the law, so who gives a fuck? So, interesting thing happened to me today. So, I've been having issues with my left shoulder and bicep. So, I thought that it was a rotator cuff, which for me would be a serious situation. And I went to urgent care a couple of weeks ago, and they took an X-ray and they didn't see anything tissue matter wrong. But that's only X-rays only do the surface of things, and I can't have an MRI because I have a bullet still lodged in my neck. But anyway, so we scheduled an appointment today. I went to see the orthopedic doctor today, and I got some steroid injections into my bicep, around my rotator cuff, and my shoulder. It helps me with transferring from bed to my car, etc. And the bad news that came with that is that we lost a full rugby season, and we also lost a chance at nationals when COVID hit. So we really haven't played rugby in a year and a half, going on 2 years. So rugby starts back, and we had our first tournament we had was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, that I went to, and things were fine. So we had another tournament this past November in Indy. I couldn't go because of my shoulder being aggravated, and now with the steroid injections, I have to, rest my shoulder. I can't do any exercises above my head. I can do light resistance and stuff like that for 2 weeks, which stops me from going to the St. Louis tournament we have this weekend. Bummer. But in the process of getting this done, when the nurse left out the room, she left my x-rays up for the doctor to come in and see. I've never looked at my x-rays from the frontal part. I've seen the x-rays my x-rays from the back, and especially at my spinal cord and at the C2 level, which I should be dead in all actuality. So that's why I don't complain about a lot of things, because when you have a break at the C2 vertebrae, and especially if it collapses your spinal cord, cuts it in half, usually if you survive, you're usually on a vent. They only give you like 9 to 10 years to live, like the same that what happened to Christopher Reeves when he fell off the horse. But because the bullet didn't sever my spinal cord, it is pushing against the vertebrae, which is pushing against the spinal cord, and they stabilized the bullet to so it wouldn't move. And I remember the doctor telling me after I came out of surgery, and when my family was around, and I couldn't talk at the time because I was on breathing tubes and things like that. And he said, if your son didn't work out so much, he probably would have died, because as the bullet entered through my shoulder, it started to break up. And I haven't thought about that in a while. And I think I'm a pretty strong guy, and I am. I've been dealing with this for a while now. I wake up every morning, and as I turn over in bed and I begin to get up out of bed, I see this wheelchair, and I know what life's is alike without using a chair. And stuff don't usually bother me. And we were like, I was when we were together, when my family came here on Thanksgiving, we were all at the house and we were talking. And I tell everybody, words and shit like that doesn't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I should say doesn't. And I think we put too many emphasis on words, and we allow words and people saying shit and this and that bother us and ruin our day regardless of what it is. And I tell everybody you should find your bottom so things like words and shit won't bother you. And my bottom was, and the worst thing that I ever heard is that you'll never walk again. So there's nothing that anyone could ever say to me again that would bother me or get me riled up. Now, if you enter my space or put your hands on me, then that's a different situation. But anyways, I was looking at the x-rays, and the doctor came in and pointed out, and I've never seen my frontal x-rays. And she said, do you see those little, like, white spots in your shoulder? And I was like, yeah. She said, that's shrapnel, like left over from me being shot. And to be honest, that shit broke me. And it broke me due to the fact that I don't, do anniversaries about on the day I got shot. And I literally got shot on Easter Sunday. But I don't, post shit as an anniversary. I don't celebrate or get mad when that day come around and all that shit. But I do things different. It's the same thing like when people post after someone their loved ones die. And I personally don't understand it. Why would you keep reliving that fucking moment? And people post it on, social media. They at home with their families and they have this fucking day of mourning and they drink or smoke or do whatever the fuck they do, cry all on. And listen, I'm not knocking anyone do that. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why people would relive that moment on a regular basis. Like for what? You gotta get over it. And that doesn't let you get over it. But anyways. And I sat there and I just started thinking about like the whole fucking day when this shit happened. And I was lucky. I was fucking lucky. And when people sit around and brag and talk shit about, oh, I survived being shot, I'm a tough dude, and God is looking out for me. No, he's not. You're lucky. Motherfuckers get shot 6, 7, 8 times and still, be up walking around like 50 Cent and other rappers and be on there talking about I'm this. No, you're lucky, you stupid motherfuckers. You're lucky. I got shot once. And I died twice. And I'm lucky. It had nothing to do with God God lives with all of us. And that's the way I look at things. I think that we all are part of the universe and God. Because if you think about life, your parents who made you, their DNA lives inside of you. And whatever and whoever created us, if you want to believe in God, you want to believe in the universe, and energy, that DNA is inside of you. So why would you look outside yourself for salvation and moving forward? I depend on myself mostly, and then the people who care about me. And one reason that I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do and get to where I'm at, because my core family and some of my close friends who have stuck around got me to the point where I am able to be independent. And that's what drives me today, to continue to be independent, to continue to be able to live life without asking for assistance from anybody for financial or physical reasons as much as I possibly can. And I carry that with me every day. And looking at that shit, it humbled the fuck out of me. I didn't say anything to the doctor because the doctor doesn't know. But to see those bits and particles of the bullet that shattered on its way in, it's like, what the fuck? And I didn't realize, I have trouble sometimes when I sleep. You know how if you lay back and you fold your arm behind your head and you fall asleep or something like that, if you leave it there a while, most people don't have a problem. But every time I do that, my whole fucking arm goes numb. I literally have to use my other hand to bring my arm down and then let the blood fucking start to circulate again to let this money. And I always kept, and I never thought about the whole thing of the damage that was done to my left side and with the shrapnel and why that happens into today. And I just realized that. And that was the cause then. That's the cause of it and why it's happening. I had to have a kidney stone removed in about 2 years ago, I believe. So I had to go in because they had like dug itself into my kidneys. And when the first doctor came in, he was trying to hook me over the IV, and he kept using my left shoulder trying to go in, and it just kept bleeding. And the other doctor came in and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He said, "I'm trying to whatever, but it won't let me." He said, "Well, if it doesn't let you, then use a different arm." But to come to realize that some of the vascular veins that's on the left side are closed off. So all that shit just came pouring down today, and then it just made me think about it and understand that I'm lucky. And anybody who has breath in their lungs, you should understand that you're lucky. Because you couldn't be here. And there's nothing, you could wake up one morning, leave the house, get in a car accident. You get coronavirus and die. There's a plethora of things that could happen to you that you wouldn't be here. So consider yourself lucky. And every day that you have breath in your fucking lungs, consider yourself lucky. And it can always be worse. I don't complain about my situations because I know people with worse situations. And again, I would rather be having a spinal cord injury living here in America and then being an able-bodied person living in a third world country. So on this day, consider yourself lucky.